I'm going to take a picture too. Can I lay?
Yeah. You can do anything you want to.
Okay, have you started it yet?
Yeah.
Okay, say happy. This is Mom's happy birthday day.
Grandma's 100th birthday. Happy birthday, Grandma.
Are you getting it all? Okay. I'm going to ask Mom some questions. Since she's 100 years old today, I'm going to ask her some questions about her life when she was growing up, see how much she remembers, okay? All right, Mom.
Okay.
Okay, now, what year were you born in? Let's start testing your memory.
What year?
What year were you born?
1904.
1904. And your mother's name was what?
Catherine.
Catherine?
And Fritter.
Catherine Fritter Eichhardt.
That was her maiden name.
Okay, and your dad's name?
Florentine Einhorn.
Florentine. And do you know what year they were born in?
Oh, no, I'd have to figure that out.
Okay. And you had brothers and sister, and what were their names?
Oldest is Norma.
No, John. Your brother and sister.
Oh, my.
Yeah, John. Your brother John.
Oh, I know what you mean now.
Yeah.
John is the oldest, then Joseph, then Catherine, and then me.
And then you. Okay. And what would, if you're 100, what would John be? When was John born? Do you have any idea?
He died when he was 80 years old, but I don't know the year.
That's all right. That's all right. I was just curious. All right, now let's talk about when you were a little girl. All right, you used to tell me stories about going to the grocery store in the dark.
Yeah, early in the morning, around 5:30.
And how old were you?
Oh.
You said you were little.
I was little, well, about 6. 5 or 6.
And 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And what did you buy at the grocery store?
Well, I bought lunch for my sister. She worked. And that's all.
Every morning you had to do that?
Every morning. And I often thought why she didn't buy the cakes and salmon and meat, in the afternoon. But every morning at 5:30 I had to go to the grocery.
Yeah.
And I had to cross alley, and I was kind of scared.
Right.
Little and being scared, and...
What was the age difference between you and who was the next born? Catherine? Was Catherine the next born after you? You were the youngest.
John, then Joseph.
And then Catherine.
Then Catherine, then me.
Okay. So Catherine, well, what was the age difference between Catherine and you? There must have been a pretty good...
I think it's 6 years.
Six years? Yeah. Okay, now do you remember any of your neighbors on either side?
Yes, Joseph Seppel.
All right.
And his wife and 4 children.
Uh-huh. And what about the other side? Do you remember who was on the other side?
Yes, the Myers. They had 2 boys, and one was real young, I remember that, and the oldest boy had TB. And I feel so sorry for him. I can remember sitting out there. He'd come out on the porch, and sit there, and I'd sit there and look at him, feel so... I knew what TB was.
Well, yeah.
And I felt so sorry for him, but he was so nice.
Oh. Did you play with any of the kids? Who did you play with when you were younger? Any of the neighborhood kids?
Yeah.
Who'd you play with?
2 doors away, I had Johanna Neininger and Margaret Neininger and Loretta and Rose and Catherine.
Now, did they all go to school with you?
Yeah, we all went to.
Where did you go to school?
Holy Trinity. Well, it was Holy Trinity then, but it's St. Teresa now.
Mhm.
And
that was how far away from where you live?
oh, about 3 blocks,
Oh,
three
okay.
good blocks.
Yeah,
We walked to school and walked on. We never had any cars to bring
Right.
us home.
right. Now, what about your teachers? Would you remember any
All
of them?
nuns,
Do you
yeah.
remember any of their names?
Yeah, Sister Eugene, Sister Andrew, Sister Casca, Sister Bertilla.
Oh my God,
And,
Mom, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, where did you go after grade school?
I went to, what did they call it?
Was it like a vocational
That's
school?
where Gene and his wife went,
Oh,
on First and Chestnut. Aaron's Trade.
Aaron's Trade, right? Didn't you go there, Dick? On Aaron's Trade?
Yeah, he graduated there.
Yeah, Aaron's Trade. And then what did you do, Mom? Did you go into secretarial work, or what did you do after you
I took a
graduated?
business course, typing in Chardane,
And then where did you work?
at Vogt Brothers Manufacturing Company
Yeah.
on 14th and Main. They're out of business now, but some other company bought the place.
And how long did you work there? You
I think it
remember?
was 4 or 5 years.
That's the only place that you worked, and then you
Uh-huh.
got married?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, where did you go to meet Dad? Where were you when you met
Oh, a
Dad?
girl at the office that was going, let me see, what was the name of the Inter-Southern building? They're gonna have a dance there. And she asked me to go. I says, oh, I don't wanna go. And she says, come on. She says, I'm by myself too. She says, come to the place. And so I went and I met Felix there.
Oh. Well, what was your first song you danced to? I know what it is. You remember? You remember your song that you danced to? You don't remember that?
Oh, Bluebird.
Bye Bye Blackbird, or Bye Bye.
Blackbird,
That
yeah.
was the song that you and
yeah.
Dad danced to. And then did you just start dating, and you didn't date anybody else then? You just went with Dad?
Yeah, just went with him.
And then when did you get married? How long?
6 months later.
6 months?
Uh-huh.
And then where did you live when you and Dad got married? Where did you live?
I lived with Mama.
I mean, did Dad live with you there,
Oh.
or where was your first home?
Let me see,
Was it, let's see, where all did she live? Ash? Was it Ash? Or Mulberry? I've forgotten where all you
No,
lived, Mom.
Ash was
Was-
the first one as
Was
I
Ash Street the first?
Ash? Yeah, I think Ash Street was the first one. Or was it,
No, Ash was first in Mulberry.
First you lived
No,
on,
Forest, I think.
that was
Ash.
after.
back Eric's there, you know, on the corner. She lived.
Now, where was Richard born? Was that on Ash?
Yeah, yeah,
He was,
yeah.
he was,
Mhm.
huh?
Yeah, it was on Ash. No, Caldwell.
No,
I was born, they were living in the
Caldwell.
front room
he
over
was
there on
born in the
Caldwell, the
hospital.
front
But
part of the house.
Did you live in Caldwell Street when he was born?
Oh, yeah.
You lived on Caldwell,
Uh-huh.
and then you moved to Ash, and then Mulberry?
No, I think it was Adriel's place after I moved from Mama's place. Or was it? I can't.
Well, that's okay. Where was Narma born? You remember that? I think,
She was born on Caldwell.
and also you were still living with your mom?
Uh-huh.
All right, now what about Shirley?
Shirley.
You were out of that house.
She was born in Garrick's house.
And where was that at?
That,
Forest.
On Forest?
Forest.
Because I was 2 years old when we moved on Forest. So Shirley would have been born before that. Because I was 2 when she bought the house.
She was born at Adriel's place on Forest. On
Really?
the corner.
Oh, well, then it was a different, she must have lived on Forest twice.
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what it was. You lived on Forest Street 2 times.
Yeah,
Because I was born in the other house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was I born at home?
Uh-huh.
Did you have anybody in the hospital?
Did I
Was Richard born in the hospital?
St.
Yeah, he was the first one
St.
born
Joseph,
in the
yeah,
hospital.
St. Joseph, wasn't it?
St.
St.
Joseph
Joseph?
Hospital? Do you
St.
remember?
Joseph,
And then Norma, was she born at home or in the hospital?
at home,
And Shirley was born at home?
yeah.
And I was born at
home Forest,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And then when did Dad start working at Deering Printing Company?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Did he work someplace before that, or did he always
Was
work
it
there?
Red?
Louisville Electric,
Louisville Electric
Yeah,
was his first job?
yeah.
Mom, when did he get his fingers cut off?
Uh-huh,
Where was he working?
And that was Louisville Electric, I think.
Louisville
Yeah.
Electric.
Right, and weren't they from the knuckle down, on these two fingers from the
Uh-huh.
knuckle down? He got them off and they didn't have penicillin? Didn't you tell me that he
I
really
can't-
was sick?
Oh, he was in pain.
Yeah. Because I don't think they had penicillin then, and,
Because we were sitting out in the front, you know, and, after supper, and this man across the street, he was so nice. He came over and wanted to talk to Felix. Oh, and Felix gave him a cold shoulder. I'm telling you, I was so mad at him.
because he felt so bad though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he wanted to be nice and come over, and
Yeah.
he was in such pain that he didn't care.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, can you remember, I always tell this story when Shirley and I used to fight and I would pull hair and she'd bite, or either I would bite and she would pull hair and you would get the belt. Do you remember the belt? And slap us on our legs? You remember that? We would hide in the bathroom and you'd make us come out and slap that thing. And the time that Dick was at the table and Dad slapped him and he flew across the
You know, it hit me.
He hit him in the chest. Do you remember that? And the chair flew back. I don't know if you remember that or not. All us kids remembered
I can't
it.
remember that.
And you would never let Dad discipline us. You were always the one because you were always afraid that Dad would hurt us if he got mad. And you would always be the one that
He
would.
didn't realize how
Right.
strong he was.
Right, right, yeah. And how about your neighbors on Forest Street? Like who lived?
Oh, Miss Burry next
Burry.
door, she's dead now.
And then next door, Miss Weber.
Weber.
We had two Webers, us and the lady next door.
Uh-huh.
Now,
yeah.
what about across the street? We had
Oh, that busy lady that went around in the morning.
Seabold or
Seabold, yeah, that's right.
and then let's see, Mary Kay lived there and
Mary Kay.
What was her last name though? What was
Mary
it?
Kay,
Okay.
Reddens.
Riddle.
Riddle, yeah.
Okay. And then where did Mary Kay's husband? What's his name on the
Bob Hilliard.
Bob Hilliard. They lived
On,
next to Mrs. Denbury or, oh, she had a son, Mom. What was his name? Woody?
Demery.
Demery?
I think, yeah.
You remember Mrs. Demery?
yeah,
And her son, Woody? Was it?
I forgot.
I think, I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
I can't either.
I can't remember. And I can get up
Was
to...
that her son? I thought it was just a boy that she adopted, or
I don't remember.
Might have
I know it
been.
was just him and her son.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you remember going to the missions at church? You used to take me to the missions where the priest would come to church and you would buy rosaries and we would go for a week. Don't you remember that? And you used to
No.
have the statue of Blessed Mary in your bedroom and you'd have rosaries that you got at the missions. You don't remember going? I always
Yeah.
called it a mission. The priest would come for a week and you would always take me. I always thought that was a big deal. That you
yeah.
took me to the mission.
No, I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. Now, tell me, Mom, when we moved over here on Tyndale, all right, and I was still in high school. I used to go up to Atherton. But when did you